Hi there, today I'm going to review System of a Down's Toxicity, which I believe debuted in 2001. I'm familiar with their songs and their tracks from the past, namely like Chop Suey, BYOB, whichever ones that were popular. Other than that, I wasn't really familiar with them. Toxicity, track 1, Prison Song.
Trying to build a prison.
Now, from my understanding, Prison Song, the lyrics refer to this, well, in the United States, a political system in relation to people going into jail for crimes that are very minimal, and the statistics becoming higher and higher for young generation going to jail over minor offences such as the possession of certain drugs. Track number 2, Needles. I think Needles I gotta remember the actual lyrics for it. I think Needles refers to people who are poisoning their body every single day, and they need an assistant way of dying because they have destroyed their body to a cancerous state. And from what I understand in the world we live in, and from what I know from a few people that have suffered from cancer and things like that, is that they're in so much pain that they need a needle to die. Deer Dance, track 3 on the album Toxicity. I think this one is about a specific protest that happened in the United States where people were peacefully protesting, and the way things went, usually the way things go, is that there's a heavy police presence and a lot of confusion, and eventually these police, armed with heavy weapons, but they usually got rubber bullets in them, which are very painful, and they end up shooting innocent protesters who are so-called disrupting everything around the area. Track number 4, Jet Pilot. Jet Pilot. I'm not 100% sure of the accurate meaning behind this. Jets flying in the sky and clouding the skies, and I really don't know what the meaning behind it is, but something to do with an average person shouldn't survey the sky and look for the meaning of what's going on. It could be something to do with war, but track number 5, X. This one, I think governments don't want you to breed and have more and more children, so to combat this they justify reasons for bombing places in war-torn countries. And I think mainly it talks about what's the point in us breeding if you are just killing off or genociding our nations. So I think he's talking about where he's from. Track number 6, Chop Suey. Now this one is one of the popular ones that I believe was on television, one of the heavily promoted ones. I believe this talks about suicide in young adults and young kids or something. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Track number 7. I'm not 100% sure what that one is about. I researched most of them, but I'm not 100% sure what that one was. Forest, number 8. I think this talks about the destruction of our native forests and turning them all into deserts and wineries, and to drug the entire society as a whole, while at the same time being destructive in nature. I believe that's what the song is about. Track number 9, Atwa, air, trees, water, animals. This is a controversial one. This one talks about Charles Manson, and Charles Manson being the person who supposedly brainwashed a bunch of people in a commune, and eventually they ended up killing a famous actress, and a few other people in some sort of satanic ritual. But Atwa refers to him talking about how we need air, trees, water, and animals, and he's sick of governments destroying our forests and our water supply and killing all of our animals and polluting our air. And he was very strongly opinionated about this. Science, number 10. I believe this refers to how science has destroyed the spirit. I think it refers to religion. I'm not 100% sure. I use this as a thing of science has destroyed everything in nature and has destroyed, basically that. But I think he's referring to has destroyed the spirit and community and everything. Shimmy, number 11. Oh man, I don't remember what that one's about. Number 12, Toxicity. Now, Toxicity, I believe, refers to how we've overpopulated and polluted our natural settings and turned them into cities and turned them into deserts, and that people's diets are no longer what they used to be, and how everything in the city is toxic and polluted and just overall destroyed. Number 13, Psycho. I think this refers to drugs in the music industry. I probably butchering that. Number 14, Aerials. I'm not 100% sure what Aerials is about. It could sound a bit obvious in the actual song of what it's about, but I'm not 100% sure. But it talks about how, I guess, our water systems are destroyed, and there's a lot going on in the skies. I don't know. Fucking hell, you know. And number 15, Arto. I'm not 100% sure. This might be the best album they have, but a lot of people with artists that have a lot of music, a lot of people prefer something that has the greatest hits in their repertoire or whatever. People might, say that Toxicity is their best album. But for me, I like the weird ones. So, like one of them I think is called Steal This Album. I like that one. And I don't know if it's called Pizza Pie or it's got another name for it. Chopsticks or something. I don't know. That's probably wrong. But these two albums that are sort of like little EPs with songs that don't sound like they are popular songs, and they sound like more underground, I guess. I like those albums a bit better. But in saying that, I like particular songs from each different album, to be honest. And every song that System of a Down does is brilliant, on point, and they all have their own meanings, and it's great and amazing. A lot of other artists, they have a discography, but a lot of it is just trash. Take The Weeknd, for example. They have a few good songs, but if you listen to all of their albums, a lot of it is just crap. It's just they make music for the sake of making music. Eminem, it's like sort of like mood based, because he's changed over time, whereas System of a Down is, they might have slight changes, but they're sort of very much, you know, consistent with the way they sound. From Toxicity, let's say the top 5 songs that I would absolutely play over and over again. Toxicity, that would probably be my number 1. Aerials, number 2. Atwa, I guess number 3. This is really hard because I like all of the songs. Dear Dance, that's pretty decent. I don't want to lump in Chop Suey because it's just so, it's just way too popular, but I like Jet Pilot. I'd probably put that in there before Chop Suey. I'm very much a fan of all of their songs that have a great and strong, powerful meaning behind them, and that's why I like System of a Down. It relates to how I feel about the world, which can make me seem like a little fucking bitch, but a little sappy bitch, but that's why I like their music. And I guess that's how a lot of artists get people drawn in. Although a lot doesn't change into the world, people can be heavily distracted by the music, and it's hard to draw a line between whether or not music was created as some form of distraction or whether or not people are actively going out there and making a change in the world. But I would hope that that's what System of a Down aims to do. But yeah, I will probably review another album of theirs. So thank you for listening, and I am out.